Welcome to Inside Duncan, Community Working Together. My name is Lyle Rogo, President of the Duncan Area Economic Development Foundation. Today I have two guests, and it really is a lot about talking about collaboration, working together as a community with different programs. But I have Cindy Rao, who is the Vice President of Patient Services or Patient Care Services, Duncan Regional Hospital, and also Lois Samron, who is the Dean of the Kramer School of Nursing, OCU. So welcome to the show. This is a tremendous opportunity, and what I'd like to start off with doing is let's talk a little bit about the history of our Learning Center at Duncan Regional Hospital, and then we'll turn into how that partnership has collaborated. So Cindy, I'll let you kind of start that part. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here. The history and the reason that Duncan Regional Hospital built the Learning Center was to address the shortage of nurses, of RNs. It really was to create a program that we can build our own, grow our own, right at Duncan, in Duncan, Oklahoma, to have bachelor's prepared nurses. The reason is we were not having the kind of supply and demand. We were not getting the amount of nurses that we needed to staff the hospital to cover all of our services.
So, and just so everybody will know, at one point in time you had to bring nurses in from
contract nurses, yes.
And so this was to help, and I think this is an issue that all rural communities face, or even there is a shortage of nursing.
There is a nationwide shortage of nurses, so, and certainly in rural Oklahoma it has its own challenges. But Duncan Regional Hospital, the board of directors were committed to filling this need. I mean, obviously, there's financial obligations and money that had to be put into the building of the Learning Center, and so they were truly committed to help us to solve this problem.
Yeah. And one of the things I will say in my 11 years in our community is that Duncan has always been one that tries to solve its problems itself.
Yes.
Before we start to go out. So you started this in 2008.
2008, and when we had this vision to grow our own nurses, we partnered with Cameron University and also Red River Technology Center. So this really is a history and a story of true collaboration, because without those institutions, this would not have happened.
Right. So, and I know that there's been, you've had several other partners throughout the time frame as well that have stepped forward and helped out. And, and typically what you're trying to do is also get about 25 students per class into the program as well.
That's correct.
And it's an opportunity for us to fill our nursing void within the community. So let's talk about what are the core values between OCU and Duncan Regional, because this is interesting, because you're the dean of the School of Nursing.
Yes, I am.
And I'd ask a few questions about how you got the Kramer name, and would you mind telling that a little bit of a story?
Okay. Kramer School of Nursing is named after LaDonna Kramer Minders. The Minders Foundation is a big foundation that's been very supportive of OCU, and the Minders School of Business is Mr. Minders' name, but also Kramer School of Nursing. They paid off the debt for our first building. We have two buildings now. Of course, they've been very financially supportive of our second building. And Mr. Minders told LaDonna, his wife, you must name the school. She's LaDonna Kramer Minders. And LaDonna had a sister named Ruth, who was a nurse. There's two nurses, two girls in the family, and that's all. And so they both decided they'd name it after their parents. So that's how we got Kramer School of Nursing. And we always refer to the school Kramer School of Nursing at Oklahoma City University because of the financial support, and they continue to financially support us.
And I think that is a tremendous calling. Absolutely. And I know Herman and LaDonna have proven that year after year of their commitment to that. So let's talk about, we talked about the core values of the Kramers. You said that it took a little time. It took you some time to develop those core values. So
we have a saying. We have at school called that's the Kramer way, and so we as a faculty and staff have defined what we call the Kramer way, and we defined 10 core values. But of that, we took priority ones. The priority ones are caring, kindness, and respect. So we try to infuse that in all we do with the students, infuse the students too, reminding that's the way we need to behave. It's caring, kindness and respect.
Okay.
And I think that's practice.
And that is practice. So then how does that relate to Duncan Regional's core values?
You know, our culture is caring, compassion, integrity, and it really is, it ties, this has been such a good partnership because it ties right into the culture of Kramer School of Nursing. So,
So I think that has probably been the strongest bond between it. So one of the other things, and we got about 2 minutes left, but let's talk about how long it took for this partnership between, between the university and between Duncan Regional to really come together.
Well, I received a phone call from Cindy 2 years ago, April, saying, I need to come to the city and talk to you. I said, well, okay. Now, she's a graduate of our DMP program and our bachelor's program too. But I said, okay. So April the 30th, I think it was, she sat on my couch and she looks at me and she said, I want you to bring the baccalaureate program to our campus. And I said, oh, really? This is no small feat. I'll say it's no small feat because it takes a lot of working with accrediting agencies. First, you have to have the school and the financial support. You have to have your provost support, OCU support, that we can do this. You've got to have the technology to do this. You have to have Board of Nursing's permission. You have to have our National Nursing Accreditation's Board permission, and you have to have the Higher Learning Commission's permission. So we started the ball rolling and talked to our administration and her administration, and we had those approvals by the end of December that year, which is just interesting.
And it is. It's a matter of taking everybody together with a little bit of a common vision and a plan, but still it is no small feat to go through that and to get everybody to agree to allow this to happen.
And certainly Jay Johnson, our CEO, and our board of directors, right from the start, has been so supportive of this and integral in this.
And Robert Henry, the president of OCU, too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, well, in a moment, we'll come back and we'll start talking more about the nursing program between the two institutions we have. Join us in just a moment. Welcome back to Inside Duncan, a community working together. My name is Lyle Rogo, president of the Duncan Area Economic Development Foundation. My guests is Cindy Rao and Lois Samaron. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Salmaron, that's right.
Okay.
That's good enough.
Okay, Dean of the School of Nursing at OCU and Vice President of Patient Care Services, Duncan Regional. We've talked a little bit about the history of the nursing program. Now let's get into where this kind of started and from your perspective of how we got to it, and then we'll get into the curriculum.
Yeah.
So
one of our goals, the Institute of Medicine in 2008 put out a report for nursing, and one of the 8 best practices, one of those was they wanted the workforce to be 80% bachelor's prepared. And that is because of all the data and that there's better quality, there's improved patient safety, less patient errors, if you have 80% of your workforce that is bachelor's prepared. At Duncan Regional Hospital at that time, our workforce was in the 30%, high 28, 30% range. With this partnership, our latest, we currently are at like 52% bachelor's. I can tell you that very few hospitals have that goal, so that's certainly a goal that all hospitals in the nation are striving to obtain.
Well, which meant you had to get started early.
We had to get started early. Certainly no one is going to hold you, we hold ourselves accountable to that goal. I think it's also important, this partnership, it really is focused on rural, but part of it is that we grow our own, and those nurses, once they graduate, stay and work at Duncan Regional Hospital. Or our surrounding area, but we truly, part of the program is once they're accepted into Oklahoma City University, Kramer School of Nursing, that we also do an interview for them to see if they are from our community, are they somebody that would want to work at Duncan Regional, stay in our community, work at our hospital, because again, we're trying to fill our need for the hospital for nursing. The hospital and the board of directors, Jay, also was very supportive of part of this arrangement is that Duncan Regional Hospital helps provide scholarships for these students to complete their degree. and then they work at the hospital after they obtain their RN degree.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge piece of it that helps you with some of your voids.
Yes.
And once again, it's taking care of our needs. But at the same time, nursing is kind of a transferable, I say transferable skill that you can go anywhere
Yes.
in the world, and it is a necessity to have and to find qualified nurses. And so, mobile is really what it is. It's a mobile skill.
And Kramer School of Nursing is assisting Duncan Regional in two ways, really, to achieve that bachelor's degree. We have our RN to BSN program on their campus, too, which is for associate degree graduates or diploma graduates. Those students can attain that bachelor's degree in nursing in 9 months, 30 credit hours, because we have it in an adult learning environment, our adult studies on our campus. Our faculty travel to Duncan to do that. 1 day a week, it's a half a day for the student for 9 months, that's all. And we know that there's associate degree graduates in the rural community here that could take advantage of that. And that's one way. The second way is bringing our curriculum via Polycom technology. It's live delivered from Oklahoma City, but we also have faculty here, it's OCU faculty here, that also help with that. They're teams of 3, really, that are delivering all this course content. Using the hospital for the clinical part and certain community agencies, depends on the specialty that it is. So.
Right. So when we talk about that, it's through satellite or from video conferencing capabilities through the Polycom system.
The Polycom system.
And so, what type of things would a student expect to have to go through? What does a student need to be prepared for before they came into the program?
For the bachelor's degree, our bachelor's degree, not the RN to BSN, but for the bachelor's degree, traditional bachelor's degree, they must have their first 2 years someplace. We have a partnership with Cameron University. That Cameron has an associate degree in allied health. That degree meets all the general education requirements that OCU requires for that bachelor's degree, as long as that student's taken as an elective world religions. We're a faith-based university, so world religions has to be part of their curriculum.
Okay.
But Cameron offers that. So any counseling we do with Cameron or any working with their counselors, we say, make sure that student who's pursuing that route takes world religions as one of their electives. Then that is the door that opens up. They have to have a 3-point GPA and a 2.5 GPA in their sciences of all those hours. But that's the door that opens it up to them. And then they come in as a junior and take the nursing courses in 4 semesters, which is 2 years, and they graduate with a BSN.
Okay. So with that, let's talk a bit about, so what kind of financial commitment is that going to be for that student coming in? And then we'll talk about what is the reward, and what's the pay. So what's the cost for that from OCU?
Well, one of the challenges that we felt at the very, very beginning of all this, when our groups met together, was the difference between private faith-based university tuition and a state school. And there is a big difference with that. But Cindy can speak, what Duncan has been the one who really financially helped support the student with the scholarships she's talking about. OCU hires all the faculty, so all of that faculty costs are on us, on all the curriculum, things related to that curriculum on us. It's the scholarship component that Duncan Regional Hospital does that makes it possible for students to do that. But then they have the element of the interview that she was talking about too.
But that's part of that commitment, and
Absolutely.
being very committed. Saying you want something is one thing, but being
right.
committed and
Absolutely.
showing that you're
Right.
committed to success
Absolutely.
and results is a whole nother. So the cost for the classes from OCU's side, the tuition, is about how much then?
Oh, let's see. It's probably about $10,000 a semester, and I'm giving you
Right.
blank a general thing.
Right, but some of that is offset as well. So that's how we can make
Yes.
this all possible.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So in that, what is the starting salary for those individuals?
An RN at Duncan Regional, starting salary is $20 to $22 an hour, can range up to $35 an hour, but that does not include benefits or the different differentials that we offer.
Okay. Well, I think that's good to know. So in a moment, we'll come back and we'll start talking about the future and really some more things about the program in general that they need to know. Join us in just a moment. Welcome back to Inside Duncan, Community Working Together. My name is Lyle Rogo, President of the Duncan Area Economic Development Foundation. My two guests today are Cindy Rao with Duncan Regional Hospital and Lois Samaron, who is the Dean of Nursing for OCU. And we've talked a little bit about the history of how this all came together and about the kind of the course offerings that you have. Let's talk a little bit about the future and also still leveraging some of our things, because one of the things that from an economic development standpoint is that the Duncan Regional Hospital is a major engine to our economy. They employ between temporary and full-time employees, about 965 employees, which is a major piece to our puzzle. But having nursing in there is a key element to supporting. We cannot function, that's right, as a rural community. So it is important. Their success is important to us as well. So let's talk a little bit about the future and also some of the other programs out there that help support the nursing area. So
one of our visions now is really to work and partner with the school systems and even get more, reach people, students, middle school, high school, to help them know that this is a career path, and to maybe get them into programs like the biomed program at Technology Cameron. Some of those programs that really strengthen their science courses so that they can achieve the goal that is required for the 2.5 GPA because to get in. So we really want to attract this and get people interested at an earlier age that this is an option.
Yeah, I think that is key. It does blend with our career pathways that we have in our school systems,
yes.
And making sure that the teachers are doing that, doing teacher tours, student tours to get that interest level, because you got to reach them young.
That's
so
right.
that they can set that direction. But at the same time, you've also had, and we'll come back to this, but you've also, as we've gone through layoffs,
Yes.
It also means it's an opportunity for those individuals to change careers themselves.
Absolutely, and we've seen that, and we've had a lot of people that have had this is their second career,
Right.
and they love it. I mean, it's a path that they can guaranteed a job, and nursing is a degree and a field that there's so much joy in what you're doing.
Right.
I mean, and fulfillment. And
Right. It's about a passion.
Yes.
And seeing people through very difficult times sometimes to
yes,
to
and
nurse
there's
them
so
back
many
to health.
paths that they can do in nursing. So many
Right,
different
right.
career paths.
I would say for the number of students that we have at Kramer, nursing students, we probably have, not counting here, but on our campus, probably 40% of our incoming junior nursing students are second career people. They've a bachelor's degree in anything, and they've always wanted to be a nurse. We've had a PhD woman who was in engineering who'd always wanted to be a nurse, PhD. She's now, graduated and a nurse practitioner now, and she lives in upstate New York or someplace like that, But so that's opportunity too. You don't have to just start from kindergarten.
Right.
You can have a career path that's available here in Duncan. You have a career path here. You want to do that. So we have a way for students to do that, and we'd be glad we guide them. We guide them that way. We also feel the need to help rural Oklahoma as far as having master's prepared nurses. So Kramer School of Nursing has got the permission, again, you have to go through all these permissions to do this, that we can live stream our master's program here. So you don't even have to come to Oklahoma City to attend the master's classes. You can sit in your bedroom and be live streamed, to do that. That's another way to help rural Oklahoma to be able to get nurses in higher degrees so they can come help teach.
Right.
Come help teach or do whatever is they want to do. So
I think that is, that's probably the uniqueness. We've always talked about telemedicine and things like that. So we're trying to use all the tools that we can to get to the people. And at the same time, you also have to have those master degree individuals do the teaching
right.
as well.
Exactly
So that's a key. But it's all about the support through. There's no weak links in this system here. So you have to have a strong, supported direction to have Duncan Regional and OCU as partners with Red River and with Cameron University and other learning centers.
Yeah.
So Very, very key. So what else would you say about the nursing profession?
Well, I can certainly talk about other programs that OCU has. You know, we have a BSN to DMP, which is nurse practitioner tracks. We offer the family nurse practitioner track. We also, starting this fall, offer the adult gerontological acute care nurse practitioner track. It's a long thing. These this is an answer. In advanced practice nurses are answers to healthcare needs in rural Oklahoma. You know, they can do so many things where there's no physicians around. They can work in emergency rooms. They can work in clinics and all. And as everyone knows, we have terrible health outcomes here in Oklahoma. So we do that. OCU does that.
But what you've actually described is almost a career ladder for
It
those
is.
as well.
It can be a career
So,
ladder.
I mean, this all starts because of one thing. And
They have a bachelor's degree in nursing as the base.
the baseline, and
Absolutely.
then they just continue to work their way
right.
up.
That's right.
And you know, I think as they get higher, the pay scale gets higher as well. 'Cause
Absolutely.
as we were coming over, we were talking about the $21, $22 starting. Well, that can also be $35 or more dollars for those specialty skills as a nurse.
Nurse practitioners earn a very nice salary. They usually start out in 6 figures once they've graduated and passed their boards.
That's important to know.
Yeah.
So the other part that's important is you're going to have an open house.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The open house is going to be October the 10th from 5 to 7, and that's going to be where?
It's on Duncan Regional Hospital's campus at the Learning Center.
Okay. I think that's a critical thing.
We'll have all the services there for people. You know, we'll have from Oklahoma City, our financial aid people will be there, our admissions people will be there. We'll have those kinds of staff besides our faculty, besides what we have here. So anybody who has any interest in that can just walk up and we can try to answer all their questions.
All right. So real quickly, if you want to, they can go to www.okcu.edu/nursing to get
That's right.
information.
That's
So
right.
thank you very much, and this has
you.
been a wonderful opportunity and a pleasure.
Thank you for letting us do it. Yes,
Thank you.
appreciate it.